Now, Sports Talk with Broads. Here's Hunter Brody.
Oh, this team is killing my heart. Thank the Lord they found a way to win this game in extra innings. That was a riot. That entire, 3 to 4 hour window, it was a riot. I can't believe it got that close. They lost the lead late. They had to push it to extra innings. I mean, in what universe? What world are we living in? You were up 6-0. 6-0. 6-0 early on. And then the offense dies down for a little bit. And then Zack Wheeler, he was getting rocked pretty hard. Doubles. You gotta pull them. I know that there are fans out there questioning Joe Girardi's decision on pulling Zack Wheeler after 6 innings when he had 7 strikeouts and only 83 pitches. But when you are getting crushed that hard and getting hit so hard constantly, hitter after hitter after hitter, you need to do something different. So I support Joe Girardi's decision completely. It's the bullpen's job at that point to be able to step up. And JoJo Romero, who is someone we've all been intrigued by, he wasn't very solid. All right? Phelps wasn't very solid. Phelps, he got rocked. Absolutely crushed. It was embarrassing. 3-run shot. Jeff McNeil. That lost the Phillies the lead in the 7th. You need to be able to do your job. Now, it didn't help that Didi Gregorius had a throwing error, but JoJo Romero at first base was a little wonky as well. There's so many weird situations that went into this game that is just insanity at the end of the day. This team never fails to have millions of conversations after every single performance. Whether it's Garlick getting the nod in right field and not putting Adam Hazley in the game because why? Is there something so scary about him getting an opportunity against a lefty? That's like the big thing with Adam Hazley. They don't trust this kid at all. And realistically, there's a good chance that he would go up there against a lefty and maybe not be the best in the world, okay? And maybe he's not as productive as some. But Garlick? And did you see what he did out in right field? I mean, that dude can't track a damn baseball to save his life. What the hell was that out there? And boom, instantly, right after that, he got swabbed, kicked out of the damn game. He didn't get kicked out of the game. He was pulled from the game. You put Bryce Harper back in right field after he played center field to start. You just, at this point, why not give Adam Hazley the opportunity to fail? It's almost as if they assume he's going to fail. And he might. Honestly, he might. It's not like I have the biggest faith in the world of Adam Hazley just walking up and cruising through lefties all game long. But your alternative, you're trying to sell me Garlick. Did you see him? That was embarrassing efforts out there. Now, where do we begin? I know this. Before we do begin, let's hear a word from my sponsor. This episode of Sports Talk with Broads is sponsored by Orbit Energy and Power, and with over 20 years of experience in the industry, they are home to your solar experts in both residential and commercial projects. Their solar program helps eliminate your electric bill completely. They offer flexible financing solutions, such as $0 down. They also provide water purification systems, backup energy services, HVAC, battery storage, tree removals, electrical upgrades, and more. Make sure you check out their information and their website. It's in the description. We'll start out with some positives, huh? First couple innings. First inning. How about the first inning? First, I wanted to see what Bryce Harper was going to look like. Well, he stepped up to the plate, and he actually put together some nice piece of hitting. He went the other way with it. Left field, he was using the entire field. And it was looking like he was trying to pull a lot over the last couple games or so when he has been struggling. But no. Hey, how about this? Poke it out in the left field. Here he is. That was me trying to be a lefty, so sure, that might have looked a little awkward. But bang, poke it right out to left field, and that ultimately led to a bases-loaded situation for Jean Segura. And what do you think he did? He roped it down to third base line, went into the corner, bases-clearing double, and the Phillies are up 3-0 to start this baseball game. That's what you need to do. How many times do I come on here and talk about starting off solid early, scoring early runs, doing damage, make the other team question themselves inside? Well, that's what the Phils did. On top of that, Rhys Hoskins hit another home run. Incredible stuff. JT Realmtuo hit a solo home run in the 5th inning. The Phillies were up 6-0. So, how about this? You see Bryce Harper with a really nice hit the other way, which you need to get him going. You just have to get him going. You got Rhys Hoskins obliterating the baseball, staying hot. You also had Jean Segura knocking in a bunch of runs, which is phenomenal. And you had JT step up with the home run of his own as well. Right from the jump, 5 innings in, you're thinking, let's go. This is going to be a cruise. This is going to be a great effort. At that point, Zack Wheeler was dusting guys left and right, topping 99-mile-per-hour fastballs, one after another. He was awesome. And then in the 5th, yeah, you know what? The Mets were squaring him up. Easily. Consistently. And it was a problem. Conforto, J.D. Davis, Dominic Smith. Bang, bang, bang. Doubles. And when the team is seeing you that well and making that type of contact, it's time. It doesn't matter about the pitch count. It's time. 6 innings, 7 Ks. I really don't get the outrage. I saw a lot of comments going down this road. If Justin Verlander was getting rocked, if Jake DeGrom was getting rocked, doubles, would their managers allow him to stay out there? If Garrett Cole was doing that, would their managers allow them to stay out there and work through it because they're a top-of-the-rotation guy? It's not the same as Vince Velasquez, Nick Pivetta, and those type of starting pitchers. They're not even starting pitchers at all. They were starting pitchers by default. They're not actually starting pitchers in the MLB. But you understand my point. Would top pitchers get a little bit more of a leash to work out of that type of situation? And I can somewhat understand the logic, but at the same time, if you keep him in and then he continues to get shelled, you know what the conversation would be? Why would Joe Girardi keep him in? It was obvious that once you saw J.D. Davis and Conforto and Dominic Smith hit all these doubles that he didn't have it anymore. That would be the conversation afterwards. I thought at that time he made the right move. It was clear as day. They were squaring it up. They were hitting it hard. All right. Fine, Zack Wheeler. But post-game, you did hear some comments from Joe Girardi speaking about the situation, and maybe next time you see something differently. I'm not against keeping him in, but I can totally get behind pulling him as well. In fact, I lean more towards pulling him than keeping him in. It's not the 3rd inning. It's not the 4th inning. You're talking about your 6th inning. You're through 6 at that point. You should, at this point, with what you picked up, you should have enough in that bullpen to get you through 3 innings. Now, sadly, with hindsight, we understand that wasn't the case. Not at all. So JoJo Romero struggles. Phelps struggles. They lost the lead with Phelps in the game because of McNeil's homer, which was absolutely murdered. It was a no-brainer. I was so crushed at the time. My heart was in my stomach, thinking, you gotta be kidding me. This reminded me of all the poor losses they've had this season where you're up how many runs? And the offense did go quiet once Ramirez came into the game and they pulled their starter. There were multiple innings in a row where they couldn't really get anything going whatsoever. They couldn't create spark. But you have 6 runs. You have a 6-run lead. And once the bullpen got the game, they had a 3-run lead. Execute. Get it done. Do what you need to. But finish the game off. It's not great that this went to extra innings when you have a double header tomorrow, especially when you have a couple guys on the bump that aren't Aaron Nola and Zack Wheeler. To keep it honest, Zach Eflin, Vinny V, oh yeah, I'm just thrilled. Luckily, it didn't go to too many extra innings. You only had to have the 10th. Couple bullpen guys stepped up big time, though. Tommy Hunter does it again. I like to call him Michael Jordan at this point because of the competitive nature that Tommy Hunter had after that post-game comment, that one game where they got shredded as a bullpen and he was fired up and took it personal. But you know what? As I continue to keep this joke alive and I continue to throw those post-game comments down your throat, he's been a factor. He's been a really reliable piece to this bullpen, and they need as many reliable pieces as they possibly can hold on to at the moment because we know what they have done to us to this point. But Tommy Hunter was awesome. Workman was awesome. Hector Neris stepped in and said, "This is my game. I'm gonna finish the job." But before he even had to finish the job, listen to this. Alec Bohm does it again. I feel I get to use that sentence all the time. And you know what? That puts a big smile on my face. Alec Bohm, Alec Bohm, 8th inning, gets an RBI single with 2 outs. Makes it 7-7. Huge. They just gave up the lead. They just lost the lead in horrible fashion. Let's go. Let's go. The kid, the young kid, steps up and gets a big-time hit. A great piece of hitting. It's so beautiful with that swing of his. I know a lot of people like to go down the Jason Worth road when they compare Alec Bohm to someone with the way it looks. But you know what? They might not be wrong. Outstanding stuff. Outrageous by Alec Bohm. But there was a wonky situation on the play. Of course. There's 2 base running conversations that I want to have right now. The first is in the 8th. So during that play, they tie the game up 7-7. Here's Dusty at third base. Can't stand him. I think he stinks. I think he's one of the worst third base coaches in the league. Here's Andrew Knapp coming around third, and he's waving him. And no, hold on a second. Hold on, no. I'm going to cue a clip of exactly what he looked like during those moments. Yeah. It blows my mind. It literally blows my mind. Now, I think it's on Andrew Knapp as well. There was enough time to realize, hey, I need to be back at third base, but that's awful. They could have knocked him in at third. If he stays at third, knock him in, bang, it's 8-7, and the rest is history. But those are the type of mistakes that good teams, they just don't make. This team, they keep winning games, and it's crazy, and it's fun, and I'm here for it. But the way that they play baseball, it makes my eyes bleed. It kills me inside. It really does. It's such a ridiculous brand of baseball that the really solid, successful teams, they flat out don't make them to this degree. Errors happen. Base running mistakes happen. This is sports. People do make mistakes. But the way the Phillies do it, I mean, come on! I'm just getting fired up thinking about it. It's too common. Now, that's the first one that pissed me off. Here's the second one. And I get that this is a baseball play, but I hate this baseball play. Top of the 10th. 1 out. Rhys Hoskins on third base. Infield's in. The infield is literally touching the grass. JT Realmtuo grounds out to short. What ends up happening? Rhys Hoskins goes home. He was 3 steps off the bag. It wasn't even close, and they gun him out. But, he did what he was supposed to do. He got caught in a rundown, so JT can get to second base. I don't care. I don't care. I want Rhys at third with 2 outs. I want Rhys at third base with 2 outs instead of JT at second with 2 outs. It's pretty simple logic. Oh, well, bro, do you want to force them to make a throw? Because what if they make a mistake? This isn't Little League, and this isn't Roman Quinn at third. If it's Roman Quinn, if it's a faster guy in this league, Billy Hamilton, I can get behind it a little more, but to me, that's ridiculous. Now, it's a baseball play, right? That's what everyone's talking about. It's a baseball play. I don't care. It's stupid. It's stupid. Luckily, Jean Segura hits a line drive missile out of the ballpark, so the play didn't matter anyway. It didn't come back to bite the Phillies anyway, because with JT on second base, it would have been a 2-run home run regardless of Rhys or JT being on the bases. So Jean Segura comes up huge. He had 4 hits, and he recorded 5 RBIs. It was a very special game for Jean Segura. It was an awesome, phenomenal game out of him. And when he gets going, he gets going. You know me, I'm more of a supporter than a hater of Jean Segura, but it's a mix. There's a lot of mixed emotions on what he brings to the table and what's in his bag. And I think when he gets hitting, he is really solid, and he's a difference maker, because when he hits for his statistical average that he has brought throughout his entire career, it's too good. It's flat out too good. There'll be plenty of boneheaded mistakes out of him, but if he hits for his average, he's too damn good. And in this game, he was something. Bases clearing double to start it off, and a home run, 2-run bomb to finish the job off. And then, of course, Hector Neris was reliable, and it looked like he had some big-time confidence as he was walking back to give everybody some high fives. So it definitely gave you a ride of emotions. They never fail to create controversy, to create spark. Even in wins, there's always something to talk about. And it wasn't pretty defensively again. Didi with some the throw to JoJo Romero, if you want to look at both sides of that, I think you can. Alec Bohm. Let's get to this, because I praised his hitting. You want some bad news on the defense again? I'll give you the bad news. I'm never afraid to give some bad news away. When it was early in the game, he gets a ground ball to third base. Your casual ground ball to third base. Here he is taking an angle, getting the ball out of his glove, taking his time, throwing it down to first base. Safe! Yo, dude, am I missing something? Now, I love Alec Bohm. But I'm going to shred him when there's mistakes, just like I'm going to shred Rhys, and just like I'm going to shred anybody else. Yo, dude, you need to do a better job. That wasn't a scorching shot down the third base line where I go, you know what, you're probably not going to get that. Nolan Arenado might, but you're not going to get that. It wasn't the case. This was leisure. Take your time. Take an angle at the ball. Put your hands together. Get the ball out of your hand. What are you doing? Get the ball out and throw it to first base. Come on, dude. That could be the difference, though. What if the next hitter ends up hitting a 2-run bomb? Changes the game. Instead of it being, let's say, and this is all hypothetical, a 1-run shot. You got to be better over there. So let's look at the 2 guys that are, under the radar. JT and Bryce. Bryce started the game off awesome. Did not really do much after that. Went quiet. JT, he hit the home run. 10th of the year. Awesome. Hopefully he builds off that, but we need both of them to legitimately step up way more. Multi-hit games. Hit. Get on base. Come up big. That 10th inning for the extras, it started with Rhys Hoskins. So you're telling Rhys Hoskins was on second base. I'm sorry, excuse me. He was on second base because of the extra inning rules. It started with Bryce Harper. So you have Bryce, JT up. I know I'm being a little nitpicky here, but you're the top dogs. You have a chance in extra innings. I want to see you succeed. You got to get back on the hot horse. Time is running out of, hey, you're cold. No! Time's running out. It's time to figure it out and get hot again. I'm starting to get pissed off about it. I really am. Something to make me excited. Here's some stats on Jean Segura against the Mets as a Philadelphia Philly. 34 for 90, a 378 batting average, 16 extra base hits, 18 RBIs in 21 games. In case you wanted clarification on what that means, wow, dominant. That's what it means. He rakes against this team. He's an elite, effective player against this team. And I thought the Phillies, even though it was scary and not my favorite thing to watch, they were able to get by. This Mets lineup can do some damage, though. Nimmo, Conforto, McNeil, Pete Alonso. You name it. J.D. Davis. They're rocking and rolling. Jimenez. They're doing damage. They can swing the baseball bat. Well, looks like the Phillies outdueled them here. Whew. For them to lose the lead 7-6, that was something that I couldn't believe. I'm thinking, no, what is this? A month and a half ago? Is this Austin Davis? Is this Guerra? No. We need to be better. This is Phelps. I thought Phelps was going to be the best acquisition they got out of the bullpen. Now, this is the first time that I looked at JoJo Romero and went, whoops, not your best. So I want to see how he bounces back. I want to see what he can do when he gets the nod in the next game. I mentioned the doubleheaders coming up this week. It's definitely going to bring you on some sort of wild situations when it comes to the bullpen and who's going to be utilized. I do know this. The Boston Red Sox tomorrow, 2 games, and then a little bit of a rest before you attack some more this week. You got to continue to string wins together. The Marlins took care of business against the Braves, and that keeps the Phillies in a reasonable spot. But you got to do certain things once you're in that reasonable spot, right? You got to take the next step. You got to get your guys going. That's you, Bryce Harper. That's you, JT Realmtuo. For as frustrating as those two have been, though, and as frustrating as a couple bullpen players today, let's finish this off by praising a couple guys that really do need to be effective in this bullpen. And Tommy Hunter needs to be a reliever that they can go, yo, Tommy, let's go. Let's get these outs, huh? Hey, let's go out there and let's dominate here, huh? Hey, we need you for an inning. Someone doesn't have it tonight. You have it, though. Let's go, Tommy Hunter. He went from the guy that we made fun of all the time to someone where, we got to get out of this? Let's call Tommy. Let's call Big Guns Tommy. Let's call Michael Jordan Tommy. He's never been called either of those things. That's like today when Jean Segura started the game off with the bases clearing double. I said, Jean, the RBI machine does it. And then in parentheses, nobody ever called him that before, which is probably true. And then when he did it in the 10th, I said, there you go, baby, Jean, the RBI machine. No one's ever called him that. Yet, of course, when I say that early on this game, it ends up being one of the best games he's ever had when it came to knocking guys in. I also claimed that the Phillies were going to win by 10. So, take it for what it is. Sometimes, I get a little emotional. Just sometimes. A little bit. Just a little bit. Not a lot of it. Just a little bit. But getting Brandon Workman going, you need Brandon Workman. And it does seem like he's getting some flow. I mentioned how maybe because he wasn't utilized so much in Boston that he needed time to get into flow. He needed time to be in real game action. He was getting used so much here in Philly compared to what he was being used in Boston. So just maybe he needed some time. And it seems like there's something getting better on the bump for him. And with Hector, it's a crapshoot, really. Sometimes he's great, and sometimes it's get this guy off the mound and never want to see him again. But we can't have him there. We can't have him in that spot. He needs to get back to how he was most of the time last season. Because last season, you can rely on him. Of course, there were some blown saves. That happens in any season for any closer. But for the most part, last year, you could have relied on Hector Neris. It wasn't like the season where he had to actually go down to the minors. We need back end of the bullpen to be better. And if you get what you got in this one like that, well, you can be successful. At this point, though, and I know it was a hiccup today that reminded you of what it was like about a month and a half ago, but for the most part, it has been way cleaner. So was that just because, and was it just ironic, or is it who they actually are? Are they a cleaner version? Well, you would think since they added better arms, not the best arms, but better arms than what they had, that, okay, they'd be cleaner. But with this one, there was a hiccup. We can't have too many hiccups. Take care of Boston. They stink. They stink. You got to win both these games tomorrow. I'd be very disappointed if they don't take both of these games tomorrow. Beat up on bad teams. It's that simple. Go beat up on bad teams. And for some reason, it seems they struggle to do that. Specifically the Miami Marlins last year. Like, that's the kind of crap that can't happen. What we saw last year against the Marlins, destroy those teams. It's not that hard. They're not good. Well, the Red Sox are not good. And can you imagine if we see a Nick Pivetta sighting? Oh, that will be fun. Thank you all so much for listening.